Well, good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to have a topic that I have been promising for a long time, and that is the topic of egregors and how egregors differ from energy information fields. We are going to analyze what energy information fields are and what egregors are and why some people confuse these concepts and think that energy information fields are egregors when they are not. Today we are going to deal with this topic. I have decided to take it instead of continuing with the evolution of the soul, because this topic will fit into a shorter period of time. Then we will deal with the seventh densities and other details, so let us understand what egregors are and what energy information fields are. Energy information fields are structures that are formed by themselves. This is a general energy background, not of a man, made nature, natural formations. Let's imagine that there are many people in a room, for example, in the fifth class of a school where there are 20 kids. Each has its own energy, and the totality of their energies, their common atmosphere, forms the energy information field of the fifth A class. If there are other children in the fifth B class, the atmosphere there is already different. It is the same with a team at work, with the inhabitants of a house, a city, or a village, with a group of friends. All this is a totality of people's energies that form an energy information field. When a person leaves a collective or a class, the general atmosphere changes. Even if he was not a bright personality, the energetic component will change immediately. This is true for collectives and any association of people. Energy information fields are not egregors. They are just natural aggregations of the energies of people in a group. You can be comfortable or uncomfortable in certain groups, and it is not just about the people, but also about the general energy that you are picking up. When you come into an energy information field, your energy begins to interact with it. You begin to vibrate on its wave. If your energy is dissonant with the general field, you will feel uncomfortable. You can set personal boundaries so that energy information fields do not affect you so much. In the past, for example, artificial energy cushions were dropped on cities and towns so that people would vibrate on a certain wave. In nature, we rest, feel the wonderful energy, and when we return to the city, we get into the general energy information field and begin to resonate on its wave. Remember, when Vazia left the class, the field changed. When Masha comes, it changes again. Each person contributes his or her kopeck to the general energy piggy bank. If a person with high potential comes to the collective, he can influence the general field. If his charge is positive, the atmosphere becomes friendlier. People begin to adapt to him. If the charge is negative, the atmosphere will become heavier and someone will feel uncomfortable. The energy information structure always depends on the people who make it up. It is not an egregor. An egregor is a totally different structure. Many people confuse the concepts and think that the energy information field is an egregor, but it is not. Branding, mass influence through the media, all these things can form energy information fields. When we read certain publications or chats, we feel their energy. If a message in one chat room makes us feel light and hopeful, and the same message in another chat room makes us feel panic and fear, it means that the author is putting his energy into the text. These are all energy information fields created from the aggregate of people's energies, but they are not yet egregores. Now let's understand what an egregor is. An egregor is an artificial intelligence, a technogenic structure. It looks like a cloud of artificial intelligence, an octopus with wires. It is not just a collection of people's thoughts, but a program with set parameters independent of the one who connects to it. An egregor is a code, a program algorithm that has certain tasks. A person connects to an egregor consciously or by contract, just by entering the fifth A class. You are not connecting to the egregor, you are just entering the energy information field. But for an egregor to connect to you, you need consent. When a person connects to the egregor, he gets a wire from this artificial intelligence. When Vasia leaves, there is a change in the energy information field. Everything is different with an egregor. An egregor does not depend on people. Its program remains unchanged. People can disconnect or connect, but the egregor continues to operate according to its code. When a person connects to an egregor, they are no longer simply vibrating on a common energy wave, as in an energy information field. Now the artificial intelligence begins to replace the human consciousness with its program code. The egregor zombifies a person, replacing his thoughts with programmed ones. Such people become the same, they have the same thoughts, speech, reactions. Their consciousness is controlled by the egregor's artificial intelligence, not by their own soul. Egregors can be different, there are many now. There are egregors of brands, systems, structures, armies, state structures. Intermediaries, the gurs, stars that often connect other people to them. These facilitators are soul suppliers to the egregors. Conscious suppliers know what they are doing and receive benefits for it. Unconscious suppliers simply lead people astray. A person connected to an egregor loses part of their consciousness, their thoughts become memorized as if they were speaking from a template. If you pay attention, you can see how at certain topics some people's eyes switch and they begin to broadcast a memorized text without hearing or seeing anything around them. An egregor connects to the body through wires at the subtle level, as in the movie The Matrix, and sucks the energy out of a person, replacing his or her consciousness. This does not happen at the level of the energy information field. There are no wires there, just a general vibration. But when an egregor appears, we see technogenic wires embedded in the subtle body. These wires cause pain, discomfort, pump energy, and introduce foreign thoughts. The task of an egregor is to completely replace human consciousness, to turn it into a battery that does not think independently. Now they are trying to realize this in the physical world through chips, transhumanism, and other tricks. Some people find this convenient, others find it makes their hair stand on end, because one is already connected to the egregor and thinks it is cool, and the other thinks independently and realizes that it is a disaster. Agreeing with an egregor is like signing a contract. The more a person agrees, the more the egregor owns his consciousness. When a person leaves the system, the structure, the brand stops interacting with his egregor, the influence gradually weakens. But as long as a person accepts the egregor's rules of the game, trusts it, and acts according to its code, the egregor replaces more and more space of consciousness. However, not all people who have entered the system are under the full control of the egregor. It all depends on the level of consent. If a person was once connected to the egregor through a rite but does not accept those beliefs, the influence will be minimal. The wire may hang, but it will not have a serious effect. It all depends on the degree to which a person is open to the thoughts being indoctrinated. I hope the subject of egregors and energy information fields is now clear. Energy information fields are a natural aggregation of people's energies, and egregors are artificial technogenic constructs that do not depend on people, but parasitize them by connecting and replacing consciousness. The next video will be about the evolution of the soul from the seventh density, where the most interesting things begin. Remember that the soul is not tied to one density or one parallel. There are thousands of worlds in which you can incarnate. If you are convinced that you are stuck here forever, it means that you yourself have succumbed to that delusion. Realize that no one is holding you here except for the agreements you sign on the subtle plane. That's all for today. See you soon. I hope to post a new video soon. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel. Become a member of my Telegram channel and discuss with like-minded people as a supporting club member.